Here we go!
We're feeling very gay because it's almost time to play. Grab your favorite chair with the Lucky Pierres. Yeah!
Alright guys, welcome back to the Lucky Pierres. We got another movie review for you. This one is from 1999. It is called The Mummy. Alright guys, The Mummy starring Brendan Fraser. That's a fun movie. Fraser. Yeah, my bad. Fraser. Let me go over the plot real quick. So you got... At an archaeological dig in the ancient city of Hamunaptra, an American serving in the French Foreign Legion accidentally awakens a mummy who begins to wreak havoc as he searches for the reincarnation of his long-lost love. A murderous mummy is brought back from the dead, and hero Rick and heroine Evelyn have to stop the awakened mummy from world domination. So yeah, Rick is a thief. He's in 1930s Egypt who is barely surviving in prison. He's about to be hanged when he is saved by Evelyn, played by Rachel Weisz, when she tells the warden dude, he's fun throughout, and so she tells him that Rick holds the key to this ancient buried treasure, and then he agrees to let him go if he'll lead him to it. And so that's how it begins. And then they end up going to this team, and one of them discovers the Book of the Dead, and then they awaken Imhotep, he's out to kill and regenerate and bring back his old lover. So that's basically how it begins.
They build it like they definitely don't want to disturb him because they put a curse on him to, like, if anyone awakens him after he's cursed, he can just, like, be the most powerful being. 'Cause that's what they say about that curse. I forget what they call it, but
and they said he'll come for you, right?
They said, like, he's the only one to ever have that because it's the worst of, like, the curses they can possibly put on someone.
That's right, yeah. When they mummified him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put them scarabs in with him and they eat him alive.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to open his thing and they're like, there's claw marks because he clawed it.
He was clawing it, yeah.
Put in there alive.
Yep. And they put that on him, and then when they resurrect him, they said he was going to come for those that I think resurrected him. Or
just everybody who took his stuff.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. Cool concept, and just a fun movie. The characters are charismatic. The setting's fun. The dialogue's sharp. And it's just a really fun ride with Brendan Fraser. And he shows what a likable, lead action hero he can be. You know, it's like a family-friendly, like, Indiana Jones-style movie. And he's like...
But it has, like, everything you want. Really, it has action, comedy, horror. It has horror elements.
It has a great tone. It never takes itself too serious. It's just fun.
The very beginning is kind of, for me, like, I don't know, doesn't really fit with the rest of the movie.
The acting and, like...
How so? Wait, hold on.
I know they have to show it for, like, the whole plot's sake. They have to show him, like, what he did and why he's getting buried and stuff. But, like, just the tone of, like, the beginning doesn't really fit when Brendan Fraser and them gets...
Why, is it, like, too serious, you think?
I think it's just a different feel. And then it finally gets into, like... There's this comedy and action in the rest of it, where that's more, like, just historical, it seems like, and stuff. I don't know, but...
I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see where you're coming from. What were you saying, Sean?
The acting in, like, the intro was pretty rough. Like, it was almost like... stage theater acting,
soap
but in
opera
a movie. Yeah, and, like, I get that they're trying to, like, demonstrate, like, it was like they were doing, like, a Roman tragedy play almost, like,
yeah,
but, like,
when he unsheathes his sword,
yeah, and they're like, ha, yeah, and, like, they do that so much, and they're like, ha, ha, and then, like, everybody's running in to kill him, and, like,
overly dramatic.
Yeah, and I mean, it gets the point across, but I feel like it doesn't necessarily fit with the rest of the movie, but it's just backstory, so I get it.
So you guys are both in the same boat that the opening scene doesn't quite fit.
That intro, yeah, is weird. And
I don't know how else they could have done it. But
they can't. They gotta show that.
Yeah, I'm not a director.
Yeah. Maybe they could have done it in a more
better way, but
I don't know, like, been more tongue-in-cheek with it, like the rest of the movie. The whole movie's kind of tongue-in-cheek in tone.
I mean, you just told me that's not Billy Zane, but I was sure for like 30 years, I'm sure that was Billy Zane.
It looks like him. I forget the name of the guy, but it's not Billy Zane.
Is a national treasure.
He is.
And I reserve that saying for a few people.
100%. Brendan Fraser is great.
Whitney Houston in her prime. National treasure.
This is a strange list.
Yeah, weird.
Larry David.
Oh, yeah. Best human alive. Imagine how many great things he would have made if he didn't like lose his mind.
No, it's some of it seems like a Tomb Raider movie, but with a male lead.
Indiana
Which
Jones
isn't as a dig.
Indiana Jones, in the vein of Indiana Jones.
And National Treasure mixed in there.
True.
Yeah, but I feel like more like a little goofier or more comedic than Indiana Jones, I guess.
Okay.
Just like the tone and probably
More ridiculous.
yeah, over the top.
Yep.
I mean, Indiana Jones is pretty fucking over the top, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah. It's got a mummy
And then,
chasing
but
him. Yeah.
there was a George Romero screenplay and a Clive Barker screenplay for The Mummy that never came out because the studio was like shopping around offers, and like to me, either one of those I would have
You said
Cream.
You said George Romero and Clive Barker.
both wrote treatments for this movie that got turned down.
Now I like both of them, but I don't know if Mummy is their thing. I think George Romero would have took a zombie
Well,
route with it.
It would have been much more horror.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, originally it was supposed to be a horror movie,
I think.
but then I lifted this just because I knew Ben would be upset about it. But the studio said after the box office disappointment of Babe, Pig in the City, and other films, not just that one, and other films,
Oh, she scared me.
Universal needed a hit film, so they wanted like a less horror, more
Fun.
romantic,
More fun,
Like,
yeah.
well, they wanted romance involved in the movie.
Yeah.
and George Romero and Barker aren't the ones that get that done.
Hell no, they ain't.
No, there was a perfect amount of horror and
But yeah,
comedy and everything in the mix there. Like,
it was a perfect tone. I think if it took itself too seriously, it wouldn't have done as well. It wouldn't
was
have been
happy.
as such a big hit.
like I don't have the nostalgic connection that like you have with it and a bunch of people have with it. But so like honestly, until the Locusts like come in about like a little less than an hour in, maybe. Honestly, I could do without almost most of that.
I love that stuff.
But
I think it's very funny, a lot of it.
once Locusts come in, from then on, I really do love the movie.
Yeah.
it's entertaining all the way through.
It gets more fast paced from that point on.
Yeah.
So I
and
can
it's like
understand
it's
that.
not just horror, but like there's scariness and horror included in the action and comedy.
There is.
and
Not before that, but like after that point, it's like a darker movie, but still lighthearted.
It is, because they're always like running from Emotep.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's showing up and he's got like groups of people with him and swords, and then you got him sucking people dry.
Yeah.
That sounds wrong, but, you know, like, and then like regenerating and stuff, you know, there were. The one shot that sticks in my mind, the scariest shot I think in the movie, is the one in the alley when he's stalking that professor or whatever, that smoke prick.
Yeah.
And then you see he's in the background out of focus, and then that guy moves, and then all of a sudden he's right there, his eye's right there, and we see him under that black robe, and it's like, that's pretty creepy actually.
that guy rules in Jumanji, though, also, that professor. he's the hunter.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
I was happy, like, the CGI held up. Like,
It
in my
did.
opinion,
Like-
all of it held up pretty much.
It did.
Some of it is so good, and then other parts aren't bad, but you're just like something is off with it. But like it does hold up very well for
But-
coming before 2000.
Yeah, sometimes, like, movies even nowadays.
Oh yeah, there's movies like that are 2 years old, and you're
Like
like,
Avatar,
man, this
trash.
is rough.
Yeah,
But then there's movies from back then that, like,
just hold up.
the CGI is just like, I'm saying, like, some are like, you're, oh boy, that's rough.
Yeah.
Oh
looking.
yeah, and some just hold up, man.
Yeah.
it's crazy.
This one's surprisingly well.
You know, like when it's the face is in that giant sandstorm.
Yeah, it
That
looks
was
good.
pretty good.
Looks
And then
cool.
when it was in the sand, at the very beginning, when it was like hitting him, you know, and he's like, whoa, whoa, that was pretty cool. And then when he sucks the thing, like the people dry and stuff.
You're
and-
talking about sucking dry.
I'm sorry. No, but you see like his face and he's like regenerated, and then the scarab goes up and
Yeah.
he bites it. That was cool. You know, some cool stuff going
Billy
on.
Zane killed it.
Yeah.
The beetles under the skin throughout is super cool to me.
The scarabs,
It
yeah.
looks good. They cut one out.
Yep.
And like it just looks good.
It's cool how
Which even there's movies that come out today and don't get that right.
Yeah, it goes under the skin and it kills that guy by going in his
Yeah.
brain, and he runs into a wall and
Yeah.
dies. But yeah, but those things are cool, man. They come out of like he picks one off the wall and it's like encased in like stone or something, right? And then it
Amber. Or
Yeah, it's
something.
all glossed over.
yeah, and it pops out and it's like he's like, what the hell's that? And then you got like just a stampede of them later in the movie, and it's cool. But yeah, I mean, no matter how many times I watch this, honestly, it just never gets old to me. It's just so charming and just like fun.
Yeah, you
Just
can't take it too serious, 'cause
Just pure fun.
There's some parts that, like, even though you can't take it too serious, I was like, that's ridiculous.
Like what in particular?
Okay. The one part in particular, like when they're strapped to the wings of the plane.
That was
And-
fun.
Okay, okay.
That was
You don't let me finish. And then it crashes, and they're fine. They're strapped to the wings of the plane.
I know, but the pilot dude died. The old man. That guy was cool.
he would die.
Yeah, the pilot dies, but the people on the outside of the plane are fine.
It was funny though because that was one of the funnier moments because Jonathan's like nervous as hell and he looks over to the serious guy and he's like, yeah. He's like, let's go, man. That was awesome. There was just a lot of funny like relationships and dynamics and people just bouncing off each other.
With lots of horny undertones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, I mean, definitely somebody was up to something behind the scenes. Somebody was getting some tomfoolery.
Or just Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are that good of actors that they convinced you that they just, you know.
There was some sexual tension.
They definitely banged off set.
It was a sexual awakening for a lot of people in your age group, I feel like. People had crushes on both sides.
What was funny was the warden guy that had Brendan Fraser captive or a prisoner. He was about to hang Brendan Fraser, and then on the boat he's
Arnold Vosloo.
No,
that's it. Yeah, and then on the boat he's like trusting him with his life. He's like, Rick. He's like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And then Rick says, what did he say? He said, stay here. And the ship's going down, and Brendan Fraser just jumps off, and that guy's like, ah.
Okay,
and then you got Benny switching sides, flip flopping all the time.
He was very eager to help the Pharaoh.
Oh, he was. He was eager to help with whoever had the most power. He was just the most fickle character.
I do like when he was trying like the different religious stuff to him, and he's like, hi.
yeah.
Well, okay, because I looked up that name. You said what other stuff did he make? Van Helsing, a G.I. Joe movie, Deep Rising, Odd Thomas, The Jungle Book live action
stuff.
And
exactly the same as the Mummy.
Huck Finn, The Adventures of Huck Finn.
Another guilty pleasure of mine. I loved it when it came out. Van Helsing.
It's alright.
I mean, I really loved that movie. It was like my favorite movie at a time.
What is this?
I swear, I loved that movie.
What is this movie?
When I first seen it, I think I was
just love this guy.
Catch Me If You Can, but a fake Sylvester Stallone starring in it? What is this?
Yikes.
Ben, we might need to see this.
And then you got, what is it?
Catch Me If You Can with a fake Sylvester Stallone in
Is that a movie?
Yeah, it's his movie.
It's weird. But anyway.
1989.
Another character you got is Ardeth. He's the guy that, he was in that like secret society that was sworn to stop the resurrection of Imhotep, and they all just watched on that mountain.
They do a very bad
terrible
job.
As Imhotep came back, they're like, we better step in then.
You guys.
Yeah, they're like, he's back. He's back. So I guess we should start doing our
We tried
job.
to stop your whole lives by sitting on this hill.
And watching intently and mysteriously, yeah. But that guy was pretty cool. I mean, he had some fun moments, and he was in he's in The Mummy Returns, I believe.
What?
Him and the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, I believe he's in. I think he might be.
What is
Her
that?
boss.
That's the third one. Yeah,
Her boss.
I don't think
or-
I've seen that one.
pretty good.
Yeah?
Jet Li's in it.
Her boss or professor or whatever he was above her, though, what an idiot catching the map on fire.
He was an a-hole,
because it
yeah.
barely looked on accident. Like he
What?
was like, put it over the flame. Oh no, it's on fire. And then like after that, like they're like, oh,
Well, he did it intentionally, right?
I don't think so.
Because he
pretty much
didn't
did.
want him to go.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
he-
but I think he's just
an idiot.
yes.
Also terrible at setting up a library, because as soon as she knocked one over, every shelf fell.
That was a cool shot, though. You see her, and you could tell they did it all in one because it was like, doosh, doosh, and then you spin and you see her. It was cool. But just a really fun, family-friendly action-adventure movie that's like just tongue-in-cheek. It's just got Brendan Fraser is great in it. I'm not even playing. He's great in it.
He's great in pretty much everything he's in.
He should have been Nathan Drake. If Uncharted came out back then, he would have made the
Oh, boy, here
perfect
comes
Nathan
the
Drake.
petition now.
He would have been the perfect Nathan Drake, and I'll die on that hill. But you guys,
It basically just would have been the same movie with a different setting.
100%. I would have been fine with it. Put him in a more tropical setting or something,
Like just let's Photoshop some water and palm trees, and we nailed it.
current now times,
Put a Hawaiian shirt on him.
Maybe like rip it like right here,
Anytime you have movies with Books of the Dead, they turn out great.
They do.
Evil Dead and Mummy.
You're right. You make a great point. Do you guys
Put that in more movies.
Yeah, Book of the Dead in all the movies. You guys want to add anything else on that?
Oh, I think we nailed it.
All right, let's get to ratings, guys. I gave it a 9.
7.5 for me.
I also give it a 7.5.
Okay, yeah, I gave it a 9 because I got a nostalgia connection with it. You know,
Yeah, you love it.
It came out when I was like 10. I played the video game. It was just like it left such an impression on
How
me.
bad was the video game?
Loved it at the time. Probably awful.
Yeah, as a 10-year-old, you loved it.
I don't even remember
love-
that game.
I do. I barely remember. I might play it again, but
How does it rate compared to Dead or Alive beach volleyball?
nowhere near. Nothing is near that. But anyway, final verdict, guys. Watch it ASAP. Watch it whenever, or skip it.
If you haven't seen it yet, watch it ASAP.
Yeah, see it.
It
Watch it
is a
ASAP.
classic action rom-com with a little horror.
Yeah, it's just fun. If I could just choose one word to describe it, it's just fun. It's just a lot of fun.
If you're not liking it or seem a little bored, skip to an hour in.
Yeah,
Because from then on, I love it.
it picks up a little more. Yeah, but I love all that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you're feeling out of it, just skip ahead a little and you'll probably be more into it.
I love all those small, funny moments, though, that they do
Yeah.
early on. You're building up the characters and whatnot, but I love that. But all right, guys, we got the quote game for you. Joe's got a movie quote for us. We got to guess it. What do you got, Joe?
That there is one damn fine coat you're wearing.
Oh.
Ben, after we watch any movie.
Yeah. Right. I'm a coat guy. You know it.
Loves a good jacket.
Let me think.
Drive.
No.
I just know that people love that fucking jacket and Ben wants one. Do you have one?
No, I wish I had that jacket. Damn fine coat you're wearing.
Okay. Real guesses only from now on. Is it a Santa movie? Bad Santa.
No, I'm going to say...
Okay, I'm out.
I don't know. I'll say The Big Lebowski. I don't know.
It is Sin City.
That there's one damn fine coat you're wearing.
Oh, I never would have got it, man.
Marv says it multiple times.
Does he?
Yeah, definitely not.
I know that you're saying it. I
when
know
he kills
it.
people, he's like, you got blood all over that coat.
Now that you're saying it. That's a great movie.
I never
great.
would have got it.
Oh, sorry.
How do you guys feel about Sin City: A Dame to Kill For?
Love it.
Pretty good as well. Yeah, pretty. Not as good as the
I like
first.
both those movies.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Isn't Eva Green naked in that?
I think so.
Love it.
I didn't even get the answer out. All right, guys. That's our review for The Mummy. Thank you for watching. We love you, and we will see you very, very soon.